Well, hello.
Oh, we're live? We didn't get a
He takes directions so well. Hey.
Come on, Wayne's World?
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. Hey, welcome to our podcast.
Yes. No, it's not really. It's jeez. Welcome to the third,
Yes.
no, seventh.
Seventh?
It's the seventh one that we've done.
Hey.
Live Devil's Night broadcast.
Volumes of Blood 3.
Thanks to Facebook. Yeah. So, as you can see, we have made some drastic changes to Eric's house.
Yeah. Took us forever to get this done, but we finally, it's up and running.
I've been telling him for a while it needs to be cleaned, and he would never listen. And finally, after we showed it live on TV, or on Facebook, my apologies, he decided to clean it. So, here it is.
Yes. My wonderful hands and brain did this.
No, actually, we are at the Outbreak Podcast Studios.
Yes, and it is fantastic. Check it out.
It's pretty incredible.
Pretty awesome.
So David Abrams set us up with this.
Tony Brown and David built this and made it look pretty damn awesome. You can see their little logo down here below about their podcast, and they did a pretty awesome job. And we're not going back to the card table and my couch in my room anymore. We're here every Tuesday. Thank you, David.
We assume right now. It depends. Okay. If this doesn't pan out and David doesn't want us in his house any longer, then we'll probably be right back into Eric's trashy house. So, anyway, thank you all so much for tuning in. We've got a whopping 7 people so far, but that's 7 more people that still won't care about this project.
That's right. Well, thank you for the 7 people that have joined in. And as per usual, I can't see what's going on, so. But
that's
hey,
okay.
But hey, we're here for one thing. It doesn't matter what I can see here. We're here because of our Indiegogo campaign that we're trying to raise money for Devil's Night, as you see. Campaign's going strong. Got 2 weeks left.
You and I have a different definition of going strong.
Well,
we still have quite a bit to go. We're only at 28%. We have 14 days. Yeah, we have 14 days left. So we still have quite a bit to go, but we do want to say thank you so much to those of you who have contributed thus far. So without you guys, we seriously won't be able to make this movie. So we have several people already. David Abrams, who's actually in the room right now, has said hi.
Hey, David.
So, David, which camera am I supposed to be looking at? This? When I look at the monitor, I can't see what camera I'm looking at here. Is it the one in front of you?
I'm just looking.
Okay, that's the one. Okay. Sophia says hi.
Sophia,
says
doing?
Alicia.
Hey, Dave Butler.
Dave Butler from across the pond says hello. Great to see you.
Howdy, Stacy. Welcome aboard.
So Michael Lawrence just asked, is this the mask from Satan's Little Helper? And the answer is no. This mask was actually made specifically for the very first Volumes of Blood. It was made by Justin Mabry from Trick or Treat Studios. And funny enough, it actually was, if you've seen the new Once Upon a Deadpool, the PG-13 kid-friendly version, it's actually in that film.
We think.
No, we know. We know it's in there because Ryan Reynolds called my house last night and said, dude, thank you so much for letting us use your mask.
And
that's a true story.
PJ woke up and he was in the bathtub fully clothed.
Well, half of what you just said is right. I was not in the bathtub.
We'll leave you guessing. Hey, Warren Ray. Warren Ray has joined in watching. Hey, Warren, how you doing, buddy? He was one of the great actors from our second film. Came in and pulled off a pretty cool character. Alyssa Grant, she's watching with us. She's been a big help throughout the VOB series.
Yes, she has. She actually was the ghost.
Yes,
in Ghastly in the first film. For those of you who have seen the very first Volumes of Blood.
Which one was it?
Dave says he's tuning in from work, hoping that we get this made and into the UK, which would be pretty incredible.
Tell all your friends in the UK about it. Spread the word.
Tell your friends in the UK we need as many pounds and euros as they can possibly throw at us. Or shillings.
Yeah.
I think is that Ireland or is that?
I'm not sure.
I am not world wise. I only know what little knowledge I do have usually comes from movies.
Well, then you probably know a lot because they're
I
true. They're
watch.
true. They're completely true.
Well,
Everything you
I made a
see.
post. I made a post the other day, and I said that I claimed that I've seen 20,000 plus movies, and then Brett Dieger,
Liar.
who is a filmmaker, said,
I know.
"Have you done the math on that?"
He called you out on
He
it.
did call me out. That is not true.
I would say he's seen his fair share. That many, probably not, but I bet you're close to close.
I own over 5,000 DVDs and Blu-rays.
Yeah.
I'm that sad. But
Yes.
but
he
yeah,
is.
but I've seen a lot of movies. How did we get on this topic?
I have no idea. But anyway,
Right, we are here because of this.
Ta-da!
Devil's Night. It's on Indiegogo, and we need everybody's help to get this movie made. It's the third and final chapter in the Volumes of Blood franchise, and we seriously could not be more excited because
I can't wait to get on.
it's
on
the
set.
best script that we've had thus far. We have an incredible cast of actors attached to it. We have some great directors already attached to it.
It's pounds.
What did I say?
Dave says it's pounds. Pounds sterling, guys. Lots of laugh. Yeah, we don't know.
Dave, don't show
Dave,
your
sorry.
friends how
Yeah.
stupid we
Yeah,
are when it
yeah.
comes to. What did I say? I said euros.
You went through a bunch
Didn't I
of
say
them.
euros and pounds?
I'm not your hero. Don't. You know.
No, I'm thinking
Whatever.
of that song that Chad Kroger made for Spider-Man.
Thank you, Scott. Yes, it is looking a lot better. I know you're not saying me or PJ, but our set, and hopefully,
Yes, this
you
is.
know,
I agree. This does look.
I couldn't
a lot
get I
better.
couldn't get this set in the little room that we're in my house. So yes,
Eric only builds break apart sets for his underground films that he makes.
Yeah.
His nudie movies, but we
Yes,
won't talk
yes.
about that.
Barnyard Follies 2 is
Well-
almost finished.
Before we say something inappropriate, what we are going to talk about, though, is we're here to talk about Devil's Night, which is Volumes of Blood 3. And the reason we're doing this live broadcast is because we need help getting it made. We have 28% on the Indiegogo
Yep.
thus far. We have a long way to go. The $15,000 goal we have on the campaign is really meant to just give us a good head start. Our actual budget is a little larger than that, and I actually had a conversation the other day where somebody was asking, basically along the lines, we've talked about this in some of the previous videos, which is, hey, even if you get $13,000, that's still a pretty good chunk of change, so you'll still be able to make a cool film. And there's some truth to that, but I think what this person didn't realize is that the scope of the third project is so much larger. The cast is larger. It's very special effects heavy. We have Cassandra Baker coming back. She's an incredible special effects artist. And she's actually, Cassandra and I talked yesterday about the rewrite, the latest revision, because I changed some of the deaths and everything. And yeah, so that's the largest part of the budget. It's very special effects heavy, and then you have wardrobe, insurance, travel, lodging, food.
Yeah, it just all that just adds and piles
Right.
on. And the thing is about that, we've already done Volumes of Blood, and we went that step above and did Volumes of Blood too
Right.
with
Well,
a bigger budget.
We already settled making the movie we could make on
Right.
just getting the amount of money we could just get.
Right.
And we don't want to do that with
Right.
this project.
And with the budget being higher for the second one to make a better, it was just a better all-around film. It looked better, it sounded better, and we accomplished that. So if we're going to go out with a bang with the third one and finish with a much better film than the first two, it's going to take a bigger budget. And with that bigger budget, you did add a lot of kills and a lot of death scenes in this that are going to be pretty extensive, and it gets pricey. It's probably going to be, we figure, 50 to 70% of the budget's going to be the special effects. All the other stuff is just as important, but that's the bulk of it, and we can't go out with this third one and being better without that budget.
Right. Here's what we don't want to do.
Right.
We don't want to half-ass this project. We don't
Right.
want to settle and say, well, we did the best we could with what we were able to get our hands on. We could do that. And there's a lot of independent filmmakers who do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, it's extremely difficult to fund a project. It's probably one of the hardest parts next to like scheduling, I would say, because scheduling can just be a logistical nightmare. But getting the budget you need to make the movie you want to make is really hard.
Oh.
And I'm a movie fan first. I'm not just a filmmaker. This is a professional hobby. I don't do this for a living. I do professional video work for a living, but I don't, make movies for a living. So if I was somebody on the outside looking in, I would say, why is it my responsibility to, fund your bad habits? But I think at the end of the day, you're not supporting someone's bad habits. You're not just paying for someone to make a movie. I mean, you're getting something out of this.
Right.
You're getting credit within the film. You're getting a film. There's an exclusive poster that you can only get by contributing to the campaign. It was created by Michael Broom. He did an amazing job on it. This is actually his version of the face right here, and that screaming face over there is from the poster. So, yeah,
and it's not like we're asking somebody to give us money so we can go get a remote control airplane. It's not like we don't want to spend the money. It's just we don't have the money to make a film of this caliber. We both have 40-hour-a-week jobs, and it takes help to do that. And PJ doesn't have a rich uncle, or we wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. I don't have a rich family member, or we wouldn't be sitting here talking to you. We'd be on set or be somewhere scheduling or going to a hotel getting set up, food set up and everything. We wouldn't be doing this.
Yeah, we're broke asses.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, look at the card table we're usually on and look at this set.
Yeah.
We're usually on a card table, so that tells you anything.
Thanks to the support from Outbreak and from David, this is how you make bigger things happen.
That's right.
Right? You get the right people behind who believe in what you're doing, and you go from a shitty card table in a dirty room at Eric's house to this, a real set, a cool set.
You're never
with
allowed back
TV.
in my house.
Haley, I love you. I'm sorry. Your house is actually very nice.
She's
on the
not
inside.
watching.
Well, if she does watch this, the rest of your house is really nice. Just Eric's space. It's like a dog's room.
How does it look?
So, what was it? Let's see. Somebody said this could be, Dave Butler said, this could be bigger than Endgame. That is 100%
a lie.
False. I will say tonight I'm sporting my Stan Lee shirt specifically because I got to see. I'm a no spoilers person, so at no point am I going to give anything away about Endgame. But I did see it, and it is literally one of the best film going experiences I've had. It gave me a visceral excitement that I haven't had since I was a kid, and I was like squirming in my seat. I was so
You love that word.
excited. What?
Visceral.
Did I say that a lot?
Yeah.
I thought you were saying squirming.
Squirming, well, I like squirming. Yeah,
Yes, you do.
Dave did. I'm not going to go back to this, but Dave said shillings was back in the 50s. Tells you how
Shillings
was from the 50s.
Look, I'm from America. We don't know things and learn things the way other countries do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cassandra Baker's watching. Why do I know that
Hey,
name?
I think you know Cassandra Baker because
Didn't she play a prostitute in that one role? No, that's
it was
not
a
her.
sheriff.
Oh, sheriff.
That's way off from
I'm
a prostitute.
I'm sorry, Cassandra.
You just like prostitutes, but
well, maybe
no, Cassandra she's the beautiful young woman who almost had a brain aneurysm when she read how many special effects were in the new script. That's who Cassandra Baker, which we've already talked about Cassandra tonight.
So that's
I'm
enough
not
about her,
wasting my breath
whoever
talking
she
about
is.
her anymore. I've given her plenty of compliments. So that's all I'm going to say.
Christopher Maggart has joined in. Scott Tepperman's joined in. Jordan Phillips. Oh my God! Who is that?
He is a blast from the past.
Yes, he has never seen the first movie.
He
was in it.
Yeah, he is so proud of being in the first movie that he's never seen the first movie.
He thinks going off and getting married and having kids is more important.
I ran into him not too long ago.
Oh,
but the weird thing is I run into his brother a lot more.
Oh, okay. David McMahon.
But they're both good-looking guys.
Let's not go there because you get weird when you start talking about men. Anyway, David McMahon has joined in. He's going to be in the third film. He's going to be one of our actors. He's been doing a lot lately. He was just in Texas doing the film with Troy Escamilla, right?
Yes, I'm
teacher
only halfway
shortage.
listening to what you're saying. I'm
David
sorry, I'm
McMahon
looking
is
at
joining us. He's watching, and like I said, he just filmed Teacher Shortage with
Yes.
Troy Escamilla, which Troy has come on, and he's one of the directors of
Yes,
our film
and we're
now.
super excited about having
So-
Troy attached. He's really talented. We got a chance to hang out with him at Days of the Dead. Was it last year, I think?
Yes, yeah.
So that's not important.
Was that
Either way.
Indianapolis? Yeah, we did. Yes,
Sure. But details.
Wait, Cassandra going to cut my ass, or who's she cut? She complimented you.
She
Was
likes
gonna cut my
she
ass?
likes cutting ass. That's
Yeah,
that's all I'm
okay.
gonna say. So Michael Lawrence says, where will it be filmed?
That is a good question. We are all.
I love how, real quick, I just want to interject. I love how every time a question gets asked, there's this long pause, but you always really seem like we're pondering what the answer could potentially
I
be.
want people to think that we're.
It's a true mystery.
Well, to answer the question, it is going to be filmed right here in Owensboro, Kentucky.
Yes.
We are doing this live event. We are all from here. PJ did make Volumes of Blood World in Owensboro. So to
It's like a theme park.
what we're at.
That's the eventual goal, is to have a Volumes of Blood theme park.
Yeah, well, we could come close to that in the third one. Anyway, we won't
That's
get to
true.
there. But yeah, this will be completely filmed in Owensboro, Kentucky. The other two were filmed here as well. The first one was at Davis County Public Library, and the second one was filmed at this pretty cool house here in Owensboro that is now occupied. At the time, it was for sale.
Yep.
Hopefully, we can find when they're on vacation and film in there again.
I will say, I've had a couple people ask, does the film have to be filmed in Owensboro? And the answer is, don't shake your head no. The answer is yes. I mean, technically, I guess you could film it anywhere. I mean, how many times has Haddonfield been some other place? And Haddonfield's in New Jersey anyways. It's not in Illinois. So, but anyway, when I wrote the scripts and I heavily wrote Owensboro into the overall plot, we wanted it to become a character. I wanted it to be something that was just as important as anything else in the film. I wanted there to be it to have the world of Volumes of Blood needed to have, to me, have like an established location, and plus with Owensboro being a real place, it just made it cooler.
Well, it's like you
To
could
have
film,
that in
we
there.
could film it anywhere, but logistically, we have to film it here because of the money.
Well, there is that too.
Then the money situation, and it's just easier for us. The travel time, it's a time factor. All that factors in. It's just a lot easier to film it here. We're from here, so it doesn't have to be, but it works for us if we do it here.
You said doo-doo.
Doo doo poo poo.
You're so immature.
I'm sorry. Hang around, PJ Starks. What was there a noise in the background? Did you hear something?
Okay, so Dave Butler, who's very active tonight. That's nice. I like that he's chiming in. Maybe he'll throw a few shillings our way, huh?
Yeah, if he can get a time machine and go back to the 50s.
He says, I have to say, having a thank you credit on a movie is such a buzz to see. It feels great for us supporters to see our names there.
Cool.
And I hear
Glad to
that a
hear
lot.
that.
It's the same with like IMDb, and that's something else. If I were being honest, when I first got my name on IMDb, I was really excited about it. At this point, I'm jaded and seasoned, and it's not as exciting.
You're always jaded, PJ.
I'm cynical about IMDb because I see filmmakers with projects on there from 75 years ago that have never been finished, and I go, it kind of kills it for me. But if day in and day out you aren't doing this stuff that makes you cynical and jaded, I definitely can see why it's really exciting to see your name on like getting an IMDb credit. And that is one thing that we offer if you support the film and your name is attached to the movie. You are going to have you are going to get an IMDb credit. So Eric's brought his fly with him again tonight.
There's never flies in my room. Those are fleas.
They're bed bugs.
They're fleas.
But anyway, so I will say, if seeing your name on the big screen or on IMDb's, something along that. If that's something that excites you, that's something else that you'll get out of being a part of this. If you're a filmmaker who's been doing this for a while, as we are, you're probably in the same boat where you're like, IMDb credits.
I'll have to be honest. The first time I ever saw Volumes of Blood to its fullest, sat down and watched it, and I guess it was at the premiere. I had never seen my name in a feature film, and I felt pretty good inside. It was pretty cool to see my name up there, even though I was completely part of it and I was in it and all this kind of stuff. It was cool seeing my name involved in it. So got a bunch of new people that have joined in.
Carrie Ann Cooper.
Yeah, can you
Hey,
hear
Carrie,
us okay,
what's up?
David?
She said my volume is all the way up and you guys are very quiet.
It depends on how close we are to the mic.
Okay, well, it depends on how close to the mic. So I guess maybe we should talk a little closer to the mic.
Okay.
We're good?
Okay, thank you.
Okay, cool.
Looks like Sean Burkett has joined in, and Samuel, I'm going to reach out there, Vainisi, Ray Merrick, Tori Jones, and Carl Light. Is that just another way to pronounce Light? It's Licht. Sorry, but thanks you for watching. If I'm hacked your last, you see him not trying, he is just shaking his head. At least I acknowledge the people that are on here to watch tonight.
I would rather not acknowledge everybody who's randomly watching than butcher their name.
Okay,
like
whatever.
The face.
Thank you all for joining us
Eric,
tonight.
Yes, and Eric is the face, so that's why he butchers things.
Yes, haha, the face. The face.
Yes, the
Yes.
face.
I do play the
Of
face,
Volumes
and
of
what do I
Blood.
play the face in, PJ?
Volumes of Blood.
Volumes of Blood, which is why we're here.
That's right. And you'll also be playing the face again,
In
Devil's Night, Volumes of Blood 3.
Ooh, that was good. We didn't even practice that. We were both pointing.
That
I
was
didn't-
that was complete. A
Okay,
complete
cut, we're
random
done.
moment.
Thank you all for coming.
Yep.
Oh,
Well, don't do that. People are going to start.
I'm
leaving.
sorry, we're good. But anyway, reason we are here is because of Devil's Night Volumes of Blood 3. We have an Indiegogo page. We have several perks that you can go on there and get anywhere from $25 all the way up to $1,000. The $25 gets you a movie, gets you the exclusive poster.
Let's
Here
bring
you
it up
go.
here.
This is the, if you could see it, this is the Indiegogo page. There is a back it button, if you can see right here. If you don't have the money to do a perk or don't care about a perk, you can click on the back it button there. I guess that's a little red pinkish button. I can't really tell. I'm colorblind. Anyway, click on that and you can give any monetary amount that you want. If you want to give $1, $2, $5, and that's all you can do, that's fine. But you can also do that. Like I said, the perks start at $25. You get the poster and you get a Blu-ray. Then the next one is the $40. This has been the most popular one so far. We still have several of those left. You can get your face in a film.
Yep. Go ahead. Sorry.
It can be a family photo. It could be on a missing person. It could be a wanted, like FBI wanted poster. What
Yeah.
were you
There's
gonna say?
there's a whole bunch. There's 55 different options of how you can have your photo in the film. And actually, a very brand new perk that we just dropped today was you can now be an extra in the film. And someone actually asked me yesterday when I was talking about this, they were like, so let me get this straight. I pay you $50 and I only get to be an extra. That's a yes and a no. You're guaranteed a spot as an extra because we have a lot of chances to be an extra in the new film. There is two huge group scenes. Well, not huge group scenes, but there's probably, I would say, 40 or 50 opportunities to actually be an extra, but just wanting to be an extra doesn't guarantee you a chance to be an extra. This guarantees you a chance to be an extra. You also get a copy of the film, and you get the exclusive poster. So other people who get in on the film who didn't get to do this, their chances are either 50-50 of not even being, and that's just even being in the film as an extra. And they don't get the movie, and they don't get the poster. So there's a lot more to this than just paying $50 to be an extra. So plus you get your name in the credits, you get to support the film, you get an IMDb credit. I mean, it's literally a win-win.
And hey, if you are an extra, you never know which one you may be in. We have several actors and actresses that are coming in that you may be able to be on set with, which would be pretty cool. Our digital package is $75. We still have 19 of those left, so jump on that. Need to claim that tonight.
Yep. We've been doing this for 28 minutes, and we're still at only 28%. So
Okay. So
I demand satisfaction.
yeah. So at 29 minutes, we would like to be at 29%. So let's
That's
make
right.
that
So
happen.
let's move.
We would
this-
like a
let's
percent
get
a
this
minute,
going.
and if we can't get that, we'll never doing this again. Just kidding.
Oh, real quick. So Antonio Pantoja says,
Yes.
I figured that's why my name wasn't mentioned.
If I had seen your name, I would have tried it.
He
So
would have
I'm
said
sorry we missed you.
Antonio Pantoja.
Yes.
That's what he probably would have said.
I would have said Antonio
But it's Antonio
Pantoja.
Pantoja.
I would have said
And he
Pantoja.
You
I
almost
would have
called
said it
him
wrong.
Tampon.
No, I didn't.
You are an awful human being.
I would have probably tried Antonio Pantoja, so I would have been wrong. But I didn't. If I missed you, I'll go. I'm sorry,
Yep.
Antonio.
I do want to
I
throw
would have
this out
tried.
there. Antonio is a filmmaker as well. And I just saw where his movie One Must Fall is going to be screened in Las Vegas.
Oh, that's awesome!
So
congratulations!
congratulations.
Yes, congratulations!
That is awesome. And
While you're there, plug our film.
That's right. The jealous side of me says, you suck.
I'm not saying that. Congratulations.
No, seriously though, that's awesome. He's had an incredible run with his movie so far. It's his first feature film. So he's young and strapping, and he's far more attractive than I am. So I'm already at the point where no one cares about my movies anymore. Everybody cares about his movies.
Why is it all of a sudden talking about him and describing him, you're getting all sweaty?
Well, move on.
Okay. This is another new perk that we have out here, contributing producer. There is 20 of those. It's $100. And as you are looking at these perks, also you may know some of the people that have come on as directors and actors. They're going to be listed on here. That may make you want to even join in more because you may know them, want to support them, or want to work with them.
Yeah, we got Brooklyn Ewing. She's made 2 films.
God, go.
That put you on the spot?
Yeah, God.
She was so pretty.
She was so pretty,
And she was so pretty too. Be good for goodness sake.
Yeah, okay, I forgot that one. And there's Troy.
I love doing that to Eric, putting him on
Yes,
the
he
spot.
does. Sorry about that, Brooklyn. John William Holt came on the second one, and he directed
Feeding Time.
Feeding Time, and
He was also the director of photography, and
Right.
his feature-length film came out several years ago, but it's called The Dooms Chapel Horror. Horror.
which one of our actors was in that.
Chris Bat was several of them.
Bill Oberst.
Yeah,
Bill Oberst
Bill Oberst Jr., who's also in Rob Zombie's 3 from Hell that's going to be coming out. Wants to be in Devil's Night, wants to be a part of the project. The only way we're going to be able to make that happen is if we get it funded. So we need everybody's help and everybody's support, or this movie is not going to happen, and I'm going to go climb under a rock somewhere and cry.
Are we at 29% yet? And there's Troy that we talked about earlier. And that's the next perk, the $500 co-executive producer. And I'm slapping my leg again, which is just annoying,
You
PJ,
are.
which I love
Yep.
it. Katrina, his wife, has joined in, so be careful what you say. And Paul Dulski, Mr. Sacrifice, has joined in. And
Did you say Katrina? I don't see Katrina in here
yeah,
anymore.
she's in there.
Now I'm going to say horrible, dirty things about her.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm kidding. I'm not. She might have the kids. Really, the kids are probably like playing Minecraft. They do not care that I want to be a filmmaker.
They don't care about their father. I understand that.
Yeah.
And then Anthony Risen has joined in, and Antonio has said Brooklyn is amazing. So
Yes,
there
she
you
is.
go. Donate to get Brooklyn directing on this film.
Okay, Michael Lawrence says Indiegogo doesn't take PayPal. Of course, I said that like a question because it was a question. I don't believe it does. However, Blood Moon Pictures, which is our company, home of Volumes of Blood and home of Devil's Night, does take PayPal. So you can message either myself or Eric if you don't want to go through the Indiegogo page, but you do want to support the film. You can contact one of us. We do take PayPal. And we can
go to bloodmoonpics@gmail.com. And if you wanted to do a perk that way, but didn't want to do it through here, let us know, and we can go ahead and put the perk in here and for you.
Yeah.
But we do, but bloodmoonpics@gmail.com. Plug. All right.
Antonio just he just said Troy is a legend in the making.
Let's hope so. He's not going to be a director.
That's true. Well, you know what's going to make him a legend?
That's right. Volumes of Blood 3.
Devil's Night.
Volumes
That's
of Blood
what's going to
3.
help
That's
make
right.
him a legend. So if we can get all the funding that we need, And right now, so we're looking for $15,000. That's not the entire budget, but that's just to get us started on things like special effects, because it's very special effects heavy, and wardrobe. There's a whole lot of wardrobe in this. There's 5 stories. In case you're unaware of what the overall plot is, 4 individuals are arrested and taken into custody the morning of Halloween. Each one of them is interrogated by a detective, and as they tell their side of the story, what happened, it jumps back to the night before, which is Devil's Night, and it shows you what horrible atrocities took place across the city of Owensboro the night before Halloween. So there's 5 stories. There's a slasher, there's a werewolf sequence, there's a retribution sequence, there is a revenge sequence, and there's a killer kid sequence. So if you like werewolves, slashers, revenge, retribution, which is a big thing right now in our social climate. I don't know why I'm wiggling my ring finger. But
Hey, it's all visual.
or if you like creepy kids, then you want to get in on Devil's Night.
PJ loves creepy kids.
My kids are creepy enough.
Your kids are not creepy. Your kids are
Actually,
cool.
yeah,
They're pretty cool kids.
they're all right.
I don't have to live with them, so I can say that.
I do have to. No, no, they're pretty awesome, and they've been in both of these films.
Yes, they have.
Logan, my oldest, who's also he's a YouTuber. He has his own YouTube page,
Plug him.
Starpool. Yeah,
Plug him.
look him up, Starpool, on YouTube. He desperately wants his character to be in the 3rd Volumes of Blood. I've told him no 1,000 times because it really doesn't fit anywhere. But maybe if we can get this movie funded, I'll reconsider and we'll have Starpool. So my kid's future is in the hands of you viewers.
Our buddy Kelly McNeely has joined in, and she says, way to upgrade. Yes, Kelly, thank you very much. My room looks a lot better, doesn't it? Now, we are here only because of our good friend, buddy and pal, David Abrams.
I thought you were going to call him Buddy. I was like, he forgot his name, and now he's calling him Buddy.
About
You
can
were
I
saying.
talk?
Go,
Yes.
please.
Where was I at? See, you do this to make me look bad. We are in his studio that he and his business partner Tony Brown built, set up, and it's pretty damn cool. And he invited us to be on tonight. It's Outbreak Podcasts. Is that .com where they can pull it up? Is that correct? Okay, I was correct. So wanted to thank you for letting us do that, David. Somebody did say way to upgrade, so I had to give you another shout out.
Carrie Cooper says, feeding time made my kid have a fan theory which should be connected to VOB3. I'll say this. I don't know. I haven't heard this fan theory. Here's what I find really cool about just making independent movies in general. And it's situations where watching something makes other people creative. I don't know if you've had these conversations where people are like, hey, I was thinking, especially after the 2nd Volumes of Blood in horror stories, which is right here, which you can get if you go to darkcutpictures.com.
Or you can watch
Get
it for
that.
free on Amazon Prime.
That's right.
And
or
you can get
iTunes or Vudu,
it at Hulu.
Google Play. Did you say Hulu? I wish it was on Hulu.
Oh, Voodoo. Sorry.
Yeah, Voodoo. It is not on
Google
Hulu.
Google Play, but you can watch it for free on Amazon. You can't watch it for free on Google Play, can you?
No.
Just on Amazon
Just on
Prime.
Amazon Prime,
okay.
if you have
okay.
Amazon Prime.
But you can order it through there as well, through
Right.
the Voodoo.
And then you can go to Scream Team Releasing, which is Justin Siemens' company. He also made The Barn. He'll be making The Barn 2 here pretty soon. He's extremely
he
talented.
came on and directed in the second one.
Which we recently did a podcast
Death Day Party.
with him. So he was super quiet though.
Yeah.
I think he's just sick
I think
of our
I
shenanigans.
think the lead in kind of threw him off. I don't think he was there during the lead in, but he was probably listening.
Yeah.
So
it was a disgusting yet hilarious lead in. Anyway, so I Carrie, I'm gonna have to ask you what the fan theory is once this is all over with and said. And, once we get past tonight's broadcast, I'll ask you what the fan because I'm really interested now to see what the fan theory is. And that's the funny thing. Like I remember after at the premiere of Volumes of Blood Horror Stories, I actually had someone come up to me and say that they're going to have to watch the movie again because they weren't expecting the film to be a thinker. They were thinking you could just take your brain out and just kind of watch it. but they didn't realize how interconnected and interwoven the stories were going to be, and the narrative, that the overall narrative and story arc that was happening. Plus, there's so many new. If you love references and nuances and things of that nature, the Volumes of Blood movies are chocked full of it. And Devil's Nights, no, you know, it's the same way.
Yeah.
It's, I can't think of the word. The word escapes me. It's no. What's the word I'm looking for? God, you're just as dumb as I am.
No, I was reading the question, so I missed that last part. So.
It's okay. But so Devil's Night's the same. It has so many references, and I know not everybody likes that, but the Volumes of Blood movies, Horror Stories, and Devil's Night are literally horror films made by horror fans first, made for other horror fans. So there's tons of references from, you know, House and The Prowler, and just, you know, all the way up to more modern stuff.
And I know a lot of people have watched them and thought something different than what the plot was. Even people that have read the last script. Our buddy Ray Merrick from the Horror Syndicate said, "Yo, hey guys," and he has a couple of questions for us.
All right. He says, what are your favorite segments from the first two? Pick one segment each.
You want to go first with the first movie?
I can. From the first film. Okay, truthfully, and this is probably gonna be an odd choice, but I think my favorite segment, and normally I would say like Ghastly, but I'm extremely biased by saying Ghastly because that's the one that I made, and I was trying to do something completely different. You know, telling a story with no dialogue, all visuals. And the funny thing is, I'm not real big on ghosts or ghost stories or Asian ghost films, supernatural films, but that's exactly what Ghastly is. It's almost an homage to like Asian paranormal films. But I would so ultimately, I think my favorite sequence from the first movie would probably have to be the wraparound, and this is why. Because from a narrative standpoint, it's the make or break sequence. Because there's a twist where Encyclopedia Satanica is very, very dark and foreboding, and there's a twist, and then it becomes like a comedy for about 5 minutes straight, and then goes right back into horror. And that could have literally killed the entire movie. Thankfully, that's not what happened. Audiences had exactly the reaction I was hoping that they would have. And I think that has ultimately become, that's my other favorite word, ultimately. I say it like 45 times in the podcast we just did, by the way. And so I think that has become my favorite sequence. Plus, it's the beginning of the face. It's his origin story. And he's continued through all the films.
And PJ got to slap the shit out of me.
Right. I did get to slap you. That really wasn't my favorite part. I did tell Ray that I was going to slap you tonight, actually. The other day I told him I was going to slap, but I'm not going to do it. You're too far away now.
Yeah,
if you were closer.
I worked it out, Ray.
Yeah.
If you can't hit me.
If this was a card table.
If he gets up from there to come over and hit me, then it's going to be assault. Then he's going to jail.
Yeah.
Sorry.
If I were to try to jump up very quickly, I'd probably hit my junk and I'd be out. I'd be down for the count.
So you done on your first pick?
Yeah, go ahead.
You know, it's a big toss-up for me between Ghastly. I love Ghastly, the black and white, the no dialogue. I thought the writing was on point. I thought the acting was really good. I think the stuff we did with Alyssa Grant as the ghost was really cool. But man, just the visual, the acting, the stuff that went on in Encyclopedia. Encyclopedia Satanic sold me on the first one. I really... Overall, if I had to go through and it was just that one. I just think Christine Renee Farley, Jason Roach, everybody. I just think that Jason Roach. Good Lord. Kevin Roach. Who was I thinking of?
You were thinking of Jason Roach.
Whoever Jason Roach is, my long-lost friend. Sorry,
Roach
Kevin. Kevin Roach, they just did a phenomenal job, and I think that just worked from beginning to end.
All right, so second one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so on the second film, Horror Stories, right there, I am going to be biased. My favorite sequence is Feeding Time. I love Shelby and Caleb's characters. I love the story that takes place. I thought John did an amazing job directing it. I thought Austin did a beautiful job shooting it. I think the twist works very well, and I know that when we were shooting it, we had some issues with, some makeup issues and things like that. But I think what it did is that it forced John and Austin to be very creative and selective with some of their shots, doing some of the less is more approach, and I think that worked really, really well. But ultimately, and once again, I'm biased because I wrote Feeding Time from that standpoint. But I think from a narrative standpoint, from an acting standpoint, I think it all came together very well. That's Feeding Time is my favorite sequence in the second movie.
I agree with everything you just said, but I'm sorry. I have to, and it doesn't have anything to do with me. Death Day Party, just that couple in the basement and all the little innuendos they say, and the close-ups, and just the Cindy, and and of course I don't want to give I don't want to give anything away. There is a scene in there that is pretty phenomenal, and I don't want to give anything away. It does involve a knife. I will say that, but that couple, they're just this old, cynic, just like Harriet and Ozzy Ozzy and Harriet from back in the day, but they're not that at all. But they still look the role, they play the role, but behind closed doors, they're not that at all. And I think them two pull that off. And the dialogue, you did great with the dialogue and writing that.
Thank you.
In the way it was done, and it was directed very well. The way the thing when he kept, when they, I don't know how he did it, but he kind of almost unfocused when he's leaning forward. Of course, she was on drugs and stuff. Just something about the sequence that just is my favorite. But everything you said about Feeding Time, you're completely right, 100%.
If Feeding Time was not in the movie, then Death Day Party probably would be my favorite because of that. Because I think Jay and Cindy have a great dynamic between the two of them.
Yeah, they did great.
And the twist, I really like the twist. And really, it has my favorite kill. I can remember coming up with that kill and how excited I was when I came up with the kill. And I think and here's this word again, it gets the most visceral response
to be honest,
from the audience, because it's so brutal, but in a funny way.
PJ and I actually, Cassandra is the special effects artist, but I had something to do with that thing and with that scene, and PJ did help me out with that. And I'm thinking to myself, this is just not going to look good. It's not going to work. And when I saw it on screen for the first time edited and it was done, I was like, oh my God. But when we got to the premiere, you would think everybody was going to go, oh, ooh, because it's a pretty gross scene. There's more laughs that we get in this very serious, very unnerving moment. And people laugh. But I understand the laugh, but I never expected it. But when we were actually filming that, we were doing and holding everything and doing everything, I was like, this is not going to look right. And it looked really good. And the laughs it gets still cracks me up.
Well, I think that's
Sarah.
What we're talking about right now, the dynamics between characters, the different types, the stronger narratives, the stronger characters in general. You get that 10 times what you get in the second one, because personally, the first one was just kind of an opportunity for a bunch of us to get together and make a movie. We never anticipated that we would ever be at a point where we would be doing this right now, talking about trying to get a third one made. So when we made the sequel, it was like, we got to do bigger, we got to do better, we have to have stronger acting, stronger stories, so on and so forth. And I feel personally that it is a better film than the first movie. That's nothing against the first film, but I feel like it was doing exactly what we intended to do. And that's what we're doing with the third one. The third one is literally a culmination of everything that, if you have seen the first one and you've seen the second one and you enjoy them, we took everything you loved about the first one. We took everything because we took a lot of stuff into consideration when it came time to come up with stories and figure out, how the concept and the narratives were going to play out. So it was like, we took everything that we loved and everybody else seemed to love about the first one and the second one, and that's what we put together to make the third one. The stuff that didn't work, wasn't funny, fell flat, whatever, those types of things. We try to stay away from that making the third film. So the third movie, I personally feel, has the strongest stories, and I think the cast that we have right now and the directors and the perspectives that they're going to bring to the project, I think it's going to be exactly what we all hope it will be when it's all said and done. But once again, none of that's going to take place if we don't get the support that we need and the help that we need in order to get the project funded. So you can see some of this right now. Like, for instance, and this is one of the newer perks we actually have. We have a walk-on roll. We only have 4 currently open. Maybe 3, because I have a conversation I have to talk to you about, but we'll talk about that afterwards.
You will be seen. You will have that's all, folks. You will have dialogue. You will be seen. It may seem a little excessive, $500, but if we set that out there at $25 or $50, then it would be a movie of cameos.
Right. Well, here's the other thing. This is a part written specifically for you.
Right.
And in some cases, and this is something that I actually haven't talked to you about, but we do have a couple roles that are open that I think would actually fit perfectly for this. And truthfully, a couple of them would be like ones that I like if I was going to be someone who was interested in something like this, paying, doing the $500 perk to get a walk-on role. There's a couple roles that are very memorable roles, and they come with death scenes. So I think definitely for the $500 price tag, you're going to get your money's worth.
All right. And another new perk, a very special perk.
Yeah, this is our big one that literally just got added this past Friday, and there's only one available. Eric, do you want to tell them what it is? Even though they could see it right here.
The lovely Tamara Glenn at our last live event threw out there, surprised PJ and I just out of the blue. It wasn't discussed. She offered to go to dinner with a fan. So that is going to happen here in Owensboro when she is on set. Whoever wins this will know the schedule. You will be able to go and have dinner, and I think she has already picked Mexican.
Yes, she talked about Mexican quite a bit.
So I have a feeling you're going to go with Mexican, but whoever does that, Tamara Glenn was, I guess her claim to fame. She's been in a lot. She was in Halloween 5.
Freddy's Nightmares, Miami Vice.
Right. She's been in a lot of TV shows. She's done a lot over the years.
She was actually recently she was in Teacher Shortage, which was made by Troy Escamilla. He just recently, recently finished shooting.
And she came on originally as executive producer, and she's been pretty helpful with us, getting stuff out there, trying to help us out. And then we got to talking, and PJ and her, we got her a role. She's going to come in one weekend and fulfill a role for us and to help out with the project. She's going to go out to dinner with one person.
With one lucky person.
Yes.
If you get this perk, you have 14 days left, or 13 days maybe at this point, left to claim this perk to go out and eat dinner.
And this is new. Just came
with
about
Tamara
last
Glenn.
week. Right?
Yes. She was in Halloween 5. And also, and truthfully, Eric and I will probably be there.
Yeah.
So if you're really excited, I'm sure you're just as about having dinner with her. You're probably just as excited to find out Eric and I will be there. Because Mexican with me and Eric.
If you've never seen PJ eat a burrito, hey.
And it's going to be authentic Mexican too.
Yes.
We're not talking about Taco Bell, even though I do love
or Taco John's.
I do love me a cheesy roll up.
Okay, off topic. But anyway, that is the new one. Get on there, have dinner with Tamara Glenn. She would love it. You will love it. She's a pretty cool person.
Hold on. Scroll down just a little bit real quick. Right there. Okay, so that's Barbie Clark. Barbie Clark's doing all of our wardrobe. That's probably the second largest, I would say, piece of the pie when it comes to getting the movie completed. That's where wardrobe is next in line, because you got to think.
You didn't see me yawn.
There's ones do what?
You didn't see me yawn. Go ahead.
Oh, there's one sequence like with the Killer Kid sequence. It's very Halloween costume heavy, so a lot of those have to be
festivities.
Yeah, festivities, which is a werewolf sequence. There's a lot of werewolf costumes that have to be made for that. And then, of course, we're in a police station for the wraparound, so everybody has dressed up either like a detective or a police officer.
When we hand this over to her and we start scheduling, she's going to start pulling her hair out.
Well, she just sent us her final numbers yesterday,
cool.
so we're good in that department. We're good with the numbers. We just have to get the funding that we need in order to make it happen. But Barbie Clark, she's extremely talented, super down to earth, and probably one of the coolest people I know.
She was in the second film and did wardrobe for the second film.
She was Valley in the opening in the Murder, Death, Killer.
She did a great part for that role.
So and then of course there's Cassandra Baker doing a little makeup work down there.
Doing what she does best.
Yep. So, all right, David, I don't know what you were scrolling to a second ago.
And this starts, as I said earlier, this starts the list of cast. You may go through there and see the list of cast, see somebody you know, you like, that you want to support, and that might be another reason. And there's our last but not least of our perks.
You can be a co-producer. Yeah, you can be a co-producer.
$1,000.
You can get a ton. You have to click on this to see, but there's like a ton of stuff attached to it as far as the poster and the movie and tickets to the premiere and all that stuff. So there's a whole bunch of things that come up. Well, hey, what do you know? He clicked on it. So let's see. You get to visit the set. You get an autographed screenplay, which, I mean, let's face it, Eric, that's a hot commodity.
To some people, it is.
Yeah. Who doesn't want an autographed Devil's Night script? I know I do.
I do. I'll take one. Can I have one? Will you sign it?
Huh?
Will you sign it?
Sure.
Okay.
It'll go down in value if I sign it, but I'll do it.
Yeah, we knew that already.
Look, I'm so hard up for people's affection and appreciation. I will sign anything.
Oh, really?
Well, within reason.
Okay.
Within reason. I still got a wife I got to go home to.
Have you guys already hit up another question from Carrie Cooper? Have you guys already hit up our local Halloween places for help?
Actually, yeah, we went and talked to Halloween Havoc. Mm-hmm. We did talk to them. Actually, TD's Tough Decisions did help us out a little bit on the second film
with some makeup and stuff.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So it's those are works in progress, but that actually brings up a good point. One of the things that we are doing for the film is locally and regionally, if you have a business or you have a product or something and you're looking for kind of an out-of-the-box approach at marketing, we have opportunities in the film to where you can get your branding in the movie through product placement. We actually have a whole entire packet set up, so you can contact us at bloodmoonpics@gmail.com, or you can hit us up on Facebook, on our personal pages. But we do have product placement. That's actually how we got the second film fully funded, was entirely through product placement. And we're hoping that we can do some of that in the because it just I think it brings it's a very tangible thing. Instead of having to make up products that don't exist, if you see something that's recognizable, or we did make some things up,
right?
But I think ultimately, if you're watching the movie and you see something that you recognize, it just makes it all that more real.
I mean, it could be a business's work van riding by and being seen. It could be a pizza box on a coffee table. It could be a local beverage company that has a drink sitting on the counter, whether it be a soft drink or alcoholic or whatever. Any kind of food business, any business really that they already do advertising. It could be a vehicle that ride by. It could be a realtor sign in the yard. Any kind of thing like that. So anybody that knows anybody that may be interested. I mean, we're all about community, using community as much as possible. Most of everybody that we use comes regionally. Some kind of come far away, but most of them are local. But this one's going to be probably about as far stretched as any of them we've done.
Yeah.
But if you do know of anybody, we can work that out and make that happen. We have the Indiegogo. We have product placement. You can also order our movies at Justin Seaman's company, Scream Team Releasing. ScreamTeamReleasing.com, or you can go to darkcutspictures.com. You can go to Amazon Prime and watch it for free. The second one here. You can go
the first film, real quick, the first film is not available on video on demand yet. That's something we are working on, but if you want let's face it, physical media is coming back strong, and it's just cool to have a physical copy of the movie. because eventually your hard drive's going to fail and the internet's going to fall apart. Yeah. And you're going to go, oh, crap, all my movies were digital online. I guess now I got to read books. Nobody wants to read a book. So if you have a physical copy of the movie, you'll be able to watch Volumes of Blood while you're stuck and stranded in a post-apocalyptic landscape.
What he said.
And you don't get stuck having to read The Road, because I watched that movie and holy crap, was I bummed out.
Have you seen The Road, David? Oh, you need to watch it.
It's a good movie to watch one time.
Yes.
If you watch it
harsh,
any other time than that, you'll be very, very sad.
But just to prove what PJ said, just think about vinyl. Look at vinyl coming back.
Vinyl is coming back.
So everybody wants those hard copies.
I guarantee you it's only a matter of time before they start making VHS players again.
Yep. I don't doubt it. I'm sure there's a warehouse.
That's my prediction.
I'm sure
in the next 5 to 10 years, they'll start making VHS players again. I'm sure there's
warehouses in Japan full of them right now just waiting.
Yep.
I bet.
We'll make some phone calls when this is over.
We'll do that.
But what time do you got?
I have 7:57.
Oh, wow. So we did good.
Time flies when you're having fun.
That's right. So, okay, so we're probably going to start calling this quits for the evening. If anybody has any last-minute questions or anything that they want to throw at us, any comments, any concerns, please, hit us up real quick on...
Scott Paulson, if you're still watching, I did get your note, and we will look into that. Thank you. I haven't ignored you.
Michael, I saw your comment where you said that you emailed us. So, Dave Butler says he's addicted to steelbooks. You know, it's funny. I didn't care much about steelbooks when they first started coming out, but now I notice more that if I get an opportunity to get a steelbook, I will. Funny enough, the very first Volumes of Blood in its go-around when it was released had a steelbook edition.
Yes, it did. Limited.
Very limited. They're no longer available. You might be able to find one on like eBay.
Yeah.
But rather than searching down a steelbook version of Volumes of Blood on eBay, you should go to our Indiegogo page and you should support Volumes of Blood now. Because here's the thing. If we get this trilogy finished, we have plans for a box set.
Somebody mentioned that earlier.
Yeah.
Dave Butler did.
Oh, we have plans for the Volumes of Blood anthology, which is a special box set. That's an inevitable plan. But, of course, that won't happen if we don't get the third one made. I will say this, and I am going to get a little serious for a second. So, maybe very serious. I don't know. Here's the thing. And I've talked about this in previous videos. I've had a couple people now talk to me. Several people make comments and say, well, you know, even if you get $7,000, that'll be cool. You can make a cool movie with that.
Sure we could.
Yeah. But I'm going to tell you this. That's what Volumes of Blood was.
Was.
Right. Was being the key word.
Mm-hmm.
I've made my movie, and I may do it again later, where I have to settle for whatever I can get my hands on or my mom will give me or whatever the case may be in order to make whatever the next movie is. But that's not going to happen with Volumes of Blood. We will find a way to get this funded. But it might take a while because funding and financing tends to be the most difficult part. But with people's support, with your help, your friends' help, your mom's help,
Leave my mom out of this.
You do that, but I mean this is a serious thing.
I'm off your mom right now, so don't get on mine.
Oh, jeez. You're not making a movie either without these.
Exactly.
So people need to realize the third Volumes of Blood, as much as we love the script, as much as we think it's strong, as excited as we are for the project, as excited as those attached are to the project, until we get the funding, the full amount of the budget that we need to make the film that we want to make, the only way that it can be made, the movie's not going to happen. So if those of you watching, anybody who cares, can get behind the project to help us get this funded, the faster we can get to making the film a reality. And like I said, eventually it could happen. And we plan, right now we say it will happen.
Yep, it will happen.
But there's always the possibility of developmental hell or whatever the case may be because we can't secure the funding that we need. But we're optimistic.
All right.
And we think wholeheartedly that we're going to make the third Volumes of Blood, and we plan on doing it. Well, I'll tell you what we can't do. We can't make it if we only get $6,000 in our Indiegogo. I know we got flexible.
We're not going backwards.
And we're going to hold on to that money until we absolutely have to either refund it or use it towards the film.
Right.
But my point being is we're not settling on whatever we can get our hands on in order to make this movie. It can't be done. With the amount of special effects, it's got the largest cast, and then just the wardrobe and things. And I mean, here's the thing. Eric and I, we're not making a dime off doing this movie.
Haven't on the first two and one on this one.
Yeah, neither one of us are getting paid to make this movie. I mean, I know independent directors will portion out a part of their budget so they can make a little bit of money off of it, and that's fine. But me personally, if somebody gave us $10,000, I could give myself $1,000 because I'm about to work really hard to make this movie happen. Or I can say, you know what could actually use that $1,000? The movie. And so I would put that $1,000 towards the final product. That's me personally. That's what I would do, because I would rather see a better movie that could lead to bigger and better opportunities than just take a small percentage now in the hopes that some bigger, better opportunities will happen later on down the line. Because really, it's about making a bigger and better product now and not taking a payday, at least for me.
And this isn't going to be our last movie, so if we did make extra money, that money would go back into the account for the next movie, and that's what we're about. But would it be great if somebody walked up and goes, "Here's $1 million to make a movie"? Well, yeah. But if, and that's not. We're not planning on that. We don't see that happening. That's why we're coming to you.
If somebody came up to us right now and said, "Here's $1 million to make a movie," we would probably make 4 movies with that $1 million. That's just the truth.
Yeah,
that's the truth of the matter. Yeah. I would rather make 4 movies than one $1 million movie.
I can see that,
because there's still ways of going about it.
For what we've done with $6,000, and then the other amount, what we could do with
$23,000, $24,000,
what we could do for $250,000. Oh my God!
Right.
And still not pay ourselves, and I would rather see a good film made for $250,000 than you and I split some money and only make it for a couple $100,000. It's just the way it's said. But people have to understand that, like I said, you and I work 40-hour week jobs. We don't have this money. We wish we did. We would already be filming. And we want to be filming. You want to see it done. You want to see it finished. We need your help. That's why we're here.
That's right. Now I want to start doing the whole violin thing.
So, but
I understand why you were doing it.
But I mean, it's the truth. I mean, it seems like we're begging, but we kind of are.
Yeah.
But we're saying, hey, if you're going to help us out, that's what perks are for. You get something out of it, but you're helping us as well.
Well, at least we're not blowing smoke up your ass.
Right.
Though.
Exactly. And then that's why
we're telling you we're begging.
And that's why
for
I
money,
mentioned the back it button, because if you push the back it button, you can just give them a monetary of a couple of bucks. Which, if everybody did that, or 1,000 people did that, that would all add up, and that's fine. You don't have to do a perk. But like we always say, regardless, whether you give money or not, share. This Indiegogo, all our information out there, because somebody may look at it and go, hey, I got an extra 5,000, I got an extra 10,000. I'm a horror fan. There might be a rich uncle out there that their nephew may be in this, or something like that.
And we desperately need those horror fans that have, wallets full of $5,000 bills. That's what we need.
Yes.
So,
right.
Real quick, I guess we're about to end it out. Before we go, Kelly at horrorfuel.com gave us these sweet koozies, which you have seen, and you should check out her website. Also, Tori with pophorror.com and Brian over at fitsofhorror.com. They're also helping us. They've been a whole lot of help, and they've been sharing our videos, and they've been a part of this journey, so we want to give them a shout out. I mean, we've had a whole lot of people who have been a part of this journey. Unfortunately, we're at the tail end of our video, and we just don't have the time to name them all. But
David Abrams is one of them.
Yep, you know who you are. So, all right, so we're going to finish this out so I can get with Carrie and find out what this fan theory is. And truthfully, if it's good, maybe we'll do a rewrite and we'll add it into the new movie. We'll see what happens.
We shall see.
So anyway... we have one last final little farewell video, I guess, that we're going to finish out with. So thank you all so much.
We will be back next Tuesday.
Yes.
Same time. Probably back at the card table.
Yeah. Are we coming back here? Are you having us next week? Then we'll be here. All right. Thank you all so much.
If 5 years ago you had told me that the original Volumes of Blood was going to spawn everything from a sequel to a card game to a potential graphic novel and online short films and just gain all this press and publicity and all that, I would have told you that you were crazy. None of us anticipated, me especially, that it would do anything or go anywhere, but it has, and it's become this really cool and special thing.
I was a little bit starstruck. I got to admit, you know, here I'm involved in this thing that I just thought was kind of a friend project. It ended up being this thing that became kind of international. I didn't expect that many people out in the world going, oh my God, everybody check this movie out, it's great. And I just fell in love with the whole process because of all that, and wouldn't wait to do it again. I don't want to say I got a big head, but I will say that I was like, you know, yeah, I had a part in that, yeah.
One of the things that really stands out for me with this franchise is it's an anthology series, which is one of my favorite styles. And if you haven't seen the first installment yet, I highly recommend you get on that so you can see what I mean when I say we have the best of the best people, both in front of the camera as well as behind, all the way around.
What drew me in and impressed me the most was not just the original ideas, but just how well executed that they were. Then seeing the second film, the ante was raised. It got better, the stories were stronger. Delving further into what had begun in the first film, it makes me really want to know as a viewer what's going to happen in the third.
It is the most exciting genre out there because you get to do everything in it. Everything is to 10 and over the top. So Volumes of Blood is just, it's just something wonderful being involved with. I really enjoy it.
What separates Volumes of Blood from other horror movies is they make sure they evolve between every film. A lot of horror franchise films, they kind of de-evolve as you go through, and the quality gets worse, the acting gets worse, the stories, like, they're not even trying. But with Volumes of Blood, they make sure that they go that extra mile.
You could really tell how much the franchise had grown and how everybody had grown as filmmakers and how much further they went with the second film.
Volumes of Blood gets back down to what it means to be a classic horror movie. It's about finding that fear that already lives in the back of the audience's mind, bringing it forward, reminding them that it's there, and sending them home with a reason to look under their bed.
To go from one movie, 2 movies, and now going into a third installment is quite an achievement.
And the fans have been very dedicated. And you can see evidence of that online and all the horror magazines and websites.
It's a lot of people with a love for the genre, you know, rolling up their sleeves, getting to work, and, you know, love of independent cinema.
From day one, it was intended to be nothing more than a bunch of horror fans getting together, making a horror film for other horror fans. And we've continued to do that. And that's exactly what the third film is. And I could not be more excited about the potential of making and finishing out a trilogy.